I was in that kind of energy. And that is, I was just for the first time able to really, it's like, oh, this is what's happening. This is what you did. And here are the results.
Yeah.
Now it's on you to get up at 5 a.m. again, to get outside, to watch the sunset, to listen to a podcast, to really do what you have to do to get your mind into the highest state, because that's where it all comes from. Welcome to Point to Rise, your podcast that gives you permission to dream big, take messy action, and turn your talent into profit while turning your back on perfection. My name is Susanne Purcell, high performance and mindset coach, former international ballerina, profitable entrepreneur, and founder of Point to Rise, a movement designed to empower dancers. It is my mission to use my own story as an inspiration for today's generation of dancers. And now sit back, stretch, warm up, or sip your coffee and love learning how much it matters to point at yourself first to rise to all that you are capable of. Christy! Hi! I did something naughty and we're recording already. Here's what I did. You look
Hi.
so good. I'm so happy to see you. My favorite time of a Monday is
Yes.
having time with you. Okay, so we're streaming live into the Facebook group because we have all of this content. We have like our time together. And I'm like, why are we not using that? Why are people actually in the Facebook group as, as a perk? You can just have this podcast recording that you only have access to on Thursdays. You can already be part of on a Happy International Women's Day, my favorite woman. Mwah.
Yes, you
I
too.
love you. You
I
look
love
so
you.
good.
Oh, thank you.
Are you good?
Yeah. Are you good?
I'm great. Yes. How
Awesome.
is being a single woman for the next?
Weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I mean, we spent years like this where I was the one gigging out. He's never had this before. This is his first gig out. But it's been, oh gosh. Oh my gosh, like 7 years maybe since we've done this. So it's just finding the bit of independence that I naturally lost just because there's always someone around me. Um, yeah,
Yes,
it's different.
it's different. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm chalking it up to certainly taking this much better than I would have a few years ago. I'm chalking this up to that there's a reason we're on solo missions right now. And it's to, I feel like this is my time to go within more and expand myself in a spiritual sense. And I think I'm meant to be by myself to do that. That just is what I feel. And then for him, I think this is an awesome opportunity. So I'm super happy for him. But I definitely would not want to go back to this lifestyle like permanently. And I know,
Oh,
I
you don't
know.
have to. You don't have to. No, this is just a reminder.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome to the Part to Rise podcast. Money and Art. Today we are undertaking a huge, well, it may feel huge. And if you haven't been exposed to the topic, it can feel huge, but not but, and money is energy and why that is. So before we dive into that, how was your week, baby?
It was good. Yeah, it was the prep to set the husband free for 6 weeks, and he's still recuperating from a bit of a back injury. So it was, I don't want to say stressful. It was just on our mind that was also a factor. But otherwise, I feel great. Shoot, I had something more to say about my week like an hour ago before I got on, and I can't recall it. Oh, I know. I got it. I'm almost complete finishing my Reiki Master certification. So I'm super excited about that. I don't really know where that's going to go, but it feels right. And I'm shining my flashlight only like 2 feet in front of me now, whereas before I needed to know what the next like 5 years looked like. Right now, I'm just letting things, like tiny little like crumbs of guidance, make me move forward. So we'll see what happens with that, but that's exciting. So
Well, congratulations. You
thanks.
only connect the dots backwards, right? Not in front of you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've been thinking about what to say today. How was my week? Emotional a little bit, but I was really on a really lovely high. Like I really enjoyed the I can do anything attitude. What's next kind of attitude. It was so good to feel that I am capable of that. Okay. And with that, I had great conversations with women investors. I found more leads is not a really word that I enjoy. However, more connections. I'm expanding my network into that kind of industry, something that I never thought I would be worthy of joining. And I think our live stream just ended. Well, however, whatever. And B, I never thought that I would be knowledgeable enough to be part of that, and it's all just in our heads. And that is such great invitation to really live freely, because whatever you really want to do, it is literally just in your own hands, and everything else is just noise. So
Yeah.
yeah. However, I found myself over the weekend, the noise, when I was just settling down and taking a pause and like not really doing anything that would inspire me, but I was resting my body. All of those negative thoughts, oh, they came in like little ants, one by one, marching
Because
one
of
by
the rest.
one.
Do you think it was because you were allowing rest for yourself?
So that's my story.
Yeah.
The truth is that I didn't set myself up for success and for great thoughts. I set myself up with ice cream. I had ice cream in like years. Backstory, ice cream is something that I always connect to my father that passed away, a long time ago. So I love ice cream. When I was pregnant with my first child, I had like 3 ice creams a day. So ice cream is something that is really near and dear to me, and I haven't had any in a long time for a good reason, because I can't stop, because I overeat. I eat a whole tub, versus like 20 grams or something. I don't stop when it starts hurting.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
But I was in that kind of energy, and I was just for the first time able to really, it's like, oh, this is what's happening. This is what you did, and here are the results. Now it's on you to get up at 5 a.m. again, to get outside, to watch the sunset, to listen to a podcast, to really do what you have to do to get your mind into the highest state, because that's where it all comes from.
Yeah.
Energy, baby. It's all about energy, and knowing that, experiencing it firsthand. I had a moment where I was like, oh crap, Susie, you just, you gave in to the laziness, like the old dancer mentality came through. But what I gave into was not laziness. I gave into my old self. I gave into what felt familiar and what felt, I gave into my past.
Yeah. Yes.
Into a memory, into an artifact. But that's not me anymore. So lesson. We'll just learn. I'll do it again, but I'll do it differently. So, there's rest within allowing your mind to be expensive still. So figuring out what that looks like. That's a journey for me. Definitely. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
It all is such a journey. It just is. It's not quick, and just you said the lessons. So there's a lesson in literally everything, and until you've identified it or learned it, you're gonna keep experiencing it.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. I was listening to, and we are going to get into our topic. You all don't you worry, but this is our therapeutic.
It's actually relevant, though. It really is.
Totally. Yeah, yes, you're right. Yeah, I was listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza. And
Mhm.
if you all don't know him, oh my gosh, like look him up, do his meditation, whatever. Just listen to what he has to say. Um, he was just giving such a simple analogy on why we keep being the people that we are, why change is so different.
Mm.
And it is so easy to listen to him, but repeating what he says is so hard. It's about us waking up in the morning and feeling so familiar in who we were yesterday, in the feelings that create our emotions, and we fall into the circle of familiarity, regardless if it's serving ourselves or not, that it is actually an addiction to our emotions because our emotions create our reality or our beliefs. And therefore, we just keep recreating the same thing over and over again. This is why change is so difficult for us because we are making ourselves addicted to who we were yesterday.
Mhm.
And that is a surefire way to also stay who you want to be versus accelerating in who you want to become. And if you don't know who you want to become, well, then you're going to stay exactly over here. And I'm just like, wow, it sounds so simple. So simple. It is such an easy thing to do if you have the awareness around it.
Yeah.
You can catch yourself at any given point. Oh, hang on. Is that really my story or is that something that I have been told?
Mhm.
So I saw you almost like aiming in
Yeah.
over
Yes.
there.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
add your 5 cents, my love.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, literally all of this, like every single week, to the root of what we talk about comes down to awareness. That is
Yeah,
the first step of everything. And the awareness sometimes can be shocking enough. And then that's the tool to navigate through it. I learned a lot of stuff about myself with awareness that I didn't really like, that I didn't know about. Um, so it's very interesting, but that's the navigational tool. So when I know if I'm operating in one of those, like you said, like old behaviors or old patterns, it's the awareness that doesn't keep me there anymore that helps me move through it. So
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So money is energy. And I want to start with here's how I felt when I heard that for the first time. It's like, are you kidding me? Money isn't energy. How can it be energy? Money is tangible. Money buys things. Money, that piece of paper makes houses, worlds. It brings war, it brings peace, it brings all of these things. And they have nothing to do with energy until I learned that everything actually is energy. And depending on in what kind of a state of energy we are in, um, depends on where we're energetically with our money and how we think about it and how we feel about it. I want to give a quick example. Before this recording, I was on a coaching call with one of my clients, and he is in this mindset that he needs to buy a particular car. Okay. And that car is worth a certain amount of money. And he has that money in his wallet and he's going to spend it on that car. And nothing can change his mind. So I said, okay, have you ever asked yourself this question? What if you could actually make the energy that is in your wallet work much more for you and create way more for you than just an exchange of money for car? And he's like, what? It's like, yeah, well, imagine you would actually walk into a dealership and lease a car with this money, or yeah, lease a car with this money, and you would get a brand new car. Like, what kind of an energy exchange would that be? And he's like, the next thought was like, yeah, but with this money, I can only lease it for 2.5 years. Like, yeah, that's one perspective. And now let's expand our energy one more time. And let's say, what if you can use the money to make you money to pay for the lease of this car. The car that would really make you happy every time you get in and you would not get tired of in 2 months. The car that you would actually hug every morning, that you would name, that you would feel so freaking empowered when you sit in it, that you can take on an alternate ego that will allow you to break through all of your fears. He's like, that's not possible. Says who? Have you tried it? Have you asked the questions? No. Then don't say it's not possible. So it was really interesting for me to see the mindset that I had not too long ago. Like these old beliefs that it can only be one certain way and everything else is out of the question because we never ask what if. We never even take the time to look at what else is out there. How could it look like if I, and it has to do with so much with worthiness and our belief on what's actually possible for us. And when we say money is energy, it comes all, it's a huge circle. And now I need you to save me, save me.
Yeah.
I'm empty now, energetically.
Belief, you said it over and over and over again, and it comes down to that, because like you said as well, every single thing, including us, is energy. And
Right.
our thoughts, our words, and our emotions make up the energy that's delivered into our life. So our thoughts, words, and emotions become things. And so that's where it ties into money, and it comes down to our belief system. So the example you just gave right now, my answer to him actually would have been, you're right. Because his belief system is, it's not possible. That is the belief system. With that belief system, you have defined what you are going to bring into you. And so we are like magnets, and we send out what we're going to get back. So how we think, what our beliefs are, what we're saying, how we are as an energetic state, if we're in that energetic state, we aren't matching the energetic flow of that abundance. Because with abundance, that's a high vibe thing. What you just described, to be in a brand new car that's, whatever brand it is, but everything's new. It's got that new car smell, regardless of if it's like totally luxury or whatever. A new car is a new car. And you will feel a certain level of energy in that when everything is nice and new and no one has been in it, and it has 0 to 5 miles on the whole thing. That energetic state is where we all require getting to actually start to see the abundance that could come into our life. And so most of us have some sort of limiting belief around money. And I love this because I've done a lot of energetic work on money, because that was it was like the low. I don't know if I could have gotten lower on the vibrational scale for me in my belief on money. So I've done a lot of work. So I was told to ask yourself, I'd love to have money, but, and then to fill in the blank. And then that is your definitive limiting belief around money. So for me, mine was, I'd love to have money, but I feel like I would have to just work all the time and have no joy in order to make a ton of money. And so that was my belief. And guess what I have been manifesting up until recently is that very thing. As if I did not put in 10 to 12-hour days, I was not seeing the payoff monetarily. And that's why this stuff matters, and the belief matters. So if that would be your response too, if she asked you those things, that it wouldn't be possible, that's a huge block. You are completely walling yourself off from even the idea.
From anything, right? Like even it has to do with our filter, with our reticular activating system. Like if we don't believe we can, well, then it will show us only the examples that will prove.
Yes.
So we can be right. And here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Limiting beliefs, hitting your upper limit, arguing for your limiting beliefs, all of that. That question just brought something up to me. You know what my biggest limiting belief around money still is? but what if it goes away?
Uh,
And so when we want to get on a little bit on a tangent, I apologize in advance. When I look at money as an energy, and when we're looking at it from like what is our limiting belief, I was thinking a lot why we are seeing all of this despair and the pain in the arts. Okay. And I truly believe that it has to do in how we're managing the energy around the existence, meaning the money that it takes to keep an arts organization, a ballet company running. Okay. Like if the level of, and we kind of know that the level is pretty low energetically around money, like we're not thinking, they are not thinking, here I go again, of money as something that will come back every single time, that it is something that has a high, vibrant energy level. No, they are thinking of it as something to chase, something we need to do all of the things for that we really don't want to do.
mm,
And that kind of energy spirals down into the tiniest nooks and crannies in the organization. Like if we're looking at as a business, a business takes care of their product, it takes care of their people in order to make the business better, to have more money coming in. And if we're in that lack mentality, not understanding that by chasing something, we're actually repelling it versus asking different questions. Just asking the question, what if? What would it look like if this would be fun? What would love do right now? How can we create something that doesn't feel hard anymore? And the industry has, why do I keep saying we have? Because I'm so in it. The industry has created this lack energy, that low vibe energy that really doesn't produce anything more than this kind of lack.
exactly. Yes.
Yes.
Which is exactly what I did personally too,
Yeah,
because that was the example I saw.
exactly. That was the energy that we were consistently in. And it's so hard. I'm not making excuses. However, it takes a lot to have the awareness that this is what's happening and then fight against it.
Yeah.
That is almost, I don't want to say impossible. However, there's always friction there, always. Like I had it with my recent business that I gave up last year. I'm like, I can't be in here anymore. Like everything that I'm looking for is to prove to me that I need to drop this.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how much money it's making me. It
Mm-hmm.
just feels awful. I don't want to be around it anymore. The energy is wrong.
Yeah.
And this is what we're seeing with ballet right now, with all of these articles popping up. The energy flow is off.
Yeah.
And people getting back in the studios, getting back to the artifacts, the history of the organization is just going to feel way more off. We're going to see way more injuries. We're going to see more pain and more disorders popping up if we don't change the state of what we want to attract. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Slightly relevant. I wrote down a quote before this because I just resonated with me. It's from 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And it's, you can't talk your way out of something you've behaved your way into. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, let's take that apart.
Yeah.
Mm,
So
wow.
we can say what we want. We can say, oh yeah, I want more money, or whatever. But it's our behaviors that come from our beliefs and our thoughts and our emotions and our words. It all, like, it starts there. It starts with the thought, which triggers emotions, which goes into words, which becomes beliefs, which becomes behavior. It's this just chain.
Big circle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we can say whatever we want, but that doesn't mean at a subconscious level that we are in alignment with that, with the thought of, yeah, I would like more money or whatever. I mean, underlying, if I had said that a few years ago, underlying, whether it popped into my head or not, subconsciously it would have gone, but that's not possible. Like, that's what I would have heard. So that's what life looked like for me.
Oh, same here. Like I just kept repeating all the same things that I was given. I can't make money as an artist. There is a casting couch for artists, particularly as a woman. I actually, happy International Women's Day. Yes.
Yes.
May I just say Berlin, Germany, Berlin declared today for the first time and forever this to be a holiday, like an actual holiday. So people are off.
Okay.
Go Berlin. Love you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Isn't it? Yeah,
Yes.
I thought so too. It's a miracle. How on that note, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
I just I heard, what was it? Your intentions have to meet your behavior. And when I look at the world that we used to be in there, none of the intentions really matched any kind of behavior. Like if the intention was to really serve the people that are coming to see the shows and to change their 2 hours to something better that they've never seen before, why all the pain, why all the difficulties, why all the resistance, why all the disrespect, why paying minimum wages? Like that doesn't, the intention does not fit the behavior at all. And as long as the industry cannot align intention with the behaviors, it will always be in that kind of lack state. If
Yeah.
I had money, then what? And but yeah. And I believe like talking about all of the pain is a great thing, and it's time for solutions. It
Yeah.
is so time for solutions. It's so time to get together and say, hey, we know this is all going on. We all know about it. What are we going to do about it?
Mhm.
Because that yet is a different energy level, right? That
Yeah.
will attract different outcomes.
Yeah. 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 I think, gosh, that's a a big task, but it would be wonderful if the mindset could be shifted to be open to that. Because I think from my experience, which is why I personally just don't align with the industry anymore, is I don't have the energetic space to be in that environment or to have that mindset, or to just to put myself through that again. And it would be wonderful if we could become an environment and get to an environment where it was about making art and creating art, not about being the best company or being the most funded or having the like biggest flashiness. um yeah, I could go on a lot. I don't know what you want me to about that.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I do. Can I just say on
I
that point, you do make a difference though by taking yourself out of it and creating an option for people to come follow you.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave that right there. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It for me, all of that took away any joy that the movement brought me. And it would be
Yeah,
nice.
obviously, because
Yeah.
it wasn't really operating on a level of joy. Like the intention was not to create joy. The
No.
intention is to make it as hard and as obnoxious as possible, because
Yeah.
that is the only way you can be successful.
Yeah. To never feel like you're enough, so that you just keep striving for more perfection. And I no longer wanted to be in an environment that kept me feeling like I was never good enough. I could do that easily enough on my own, let alone have that be my whole world. So that's the biggest thing. I actually just had a memory pop up of a Facebook Live this weekend from a year ago when I had that realization. I remember you were the first person I reached out to ask, when did you know that it was time to leave? Because those feelings were just too much.
Right.
I'm still feeling them, clearly. I can
Well,
feel it now.
it's a hard step, right? And I feel as artists, as dancers, we put so much into it. And it's like everybody is so in love with doing it, so much in love with it. And needing for whatever reason to stop has such an emotional response because it feels like we're giving up one of the biggest loves of our lives. And that hurt. That really does hurt.
Yeah.
Um, However, if it's like in a relationship, right? If you're being abused in a relationship, you don't stick around.
Yep.
Well, I did. I stuck around waiting for it to get better. Oh, he didn't mean to hit me. He didn't mean to make my neck look all blue and black. But isn't that what we experienced in our relationship with the job? And it doesn't have to be for everybody like that. You may not feel that you were beaten up, but if your coach tells you, what the hell are you doing? Why are you still looking at yourself in the mirror? That's not how you're going to see success. That is the kind of abuse that the industry has come to believe is necessarily to become better. And honestly, that is, can't say it on here, but it's complete bogus. It's not the truth. You don't have to hurt in order to get better. It doesn't need to feel hard. It also doesn't need to feel hard to make money.
Right.
And that's where the energy comes in, and being heartbroken over losing that relationship. Well, yeah, please be.
Yeah.
I had to be so angry in order to leave. I didn't allow myself to cry. I had to be on the floor puking my guts out, and I apologize for the language, in order to realize this is as far as I can go.
Yeah. And I went the other way. I had a complete meltdown, like complete meltdown
Good.
of exhaustion. Like you said, the abuse, it was like before I raised my vibration, I didn't know that I didn't feel it like that. I always felt kind of low. So it was just what I was used to.
Matching.
Yeah. Yeah. And then as I started to raise it and was working on myself, putting myself in those environments again, it felt like abuse that I was so tired I couldn't do it anymore. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to round this up, but
I don't either.
let's
Oh, I know, kind of, maybe what I was gonna recommend, if people don't understand how to raise that vibration, how to raise that energy flow, which I could use right now, is gratitude. No, it's fine. It's just one of those, like, it popped up and then I felt that again because I watched the video and I felt that time frame of me again. So it's fine. I'm a very emotional person. So
good.
Ways to increase your energy flow and your money energy flow is first to just sit in gratitude for what you do have. Because I think when we're broke, it's really easy to focus on what you can't afford and what you don't have enough money for. And typically, if you're in a lower energy state, you're going to dwell on those things, and that's what you're going to see, or you're only going to see all the things that you can't afford. So sitting in gratitude for what you currently have and just acknowledging it. Like I practice gratitude every day, even if it's for the smallest things, my cup of coffee, my morning on the porch, my nice apartment. I look around and everything's nice now. I've never been in a place this nice before. So I practice gratitude with it. And then that helps you not dwell on the things that you don't have, because then you can be in a good enough state with the gratitude that you can now visualize what you'd like to move towards, and what action steps and what version of yourself you could become like in your mind, to start bringing in more of what you do want that you don't have. But it really starts with the gratitude, because if we don't acknowledge the good that we already have, then it's never going to be enough.
Exactly.
You know, if you don't sit in that, then that brand new car, you're not going to have gratitude for it either. So basically feel as though you already have that. And it's getting into that feeling that then will allow you to like be more energetically expansive two ways that could improve your life.
Beautiful. I want to add something here. When I first heard about gratitude, I was like, that is absolutely bogus. How can me being grateful for my cup of coffee change my life? It's like how you do pliés and tendus every morning, how that is going to change the way you're going to show up in a rehearsal. It is exactly the same thing. It is not going to happen tomorrow or the day after. You have to be just as diligent and focused and committed to it, like you are to taking a class every single day, even if it's in your kitchen, because you're scared you're going to get out of shape and therefore your company won't take you anymore. It is exactly the same thing. You sit down every morning, and even if it's just in the morning, and you sit down and you write down 4 things or 5 things, and then those 5 things will become 10 because your mind, your reticular activating system is now more geared to, you activated the filter to see the good versus the bad in your life. And that's where the magic lies. The more good you see, the more great you will attract. And the more negative you see, the more negative you will attract. Like you literally attract what you see. And therefore, you have to start. It is on you. Nobody else, not your director, not your rehearsal director, not the girl next to you will do that for you. It is on you. This is where your control, that is where your power lays.
Yes, I love that. Hopefully the landscaper in the background isn't too loud. I keep
Oh,
trying
who
to
cares?
it
My dog barked.
But yes, what you focus on is what you see more of. Go,
Yeah.
just for an example, this week, pick a color car to focus on. I guarantee you, if you pick a red car, you're gonna see lots and lots, or pick a style, a red Kia. You're gonna see a lot of red Kias this week because you're just looking for them. That's just how this works. So I now choose what I want to see come to me by focusing on what I want to see come to me. So my thing, and Jay too, we both constantly say multiple times a day, the universe always has my back, or the universe always has our back. When it's like, what are we going to do about X, Y, and Z? The universe has our back. And that doesn't mean I'm complacent and I sit back and do nothing, but I know the universe always takes care of me. I've been through a lot of crap in 35 years and I'm still alive. So, you know, we survive most of the, well, technically we survive everything but one time in our life,
Right.
that it doesn't work out. And other than that, whatever it is, we get through and we survive. So I say the universe always has my back, and I believe that. So I don't have to know what the results of whatever it is going to be yet. I just know that I will be taken care of, because I know that I will get the cues or be presented something, or it's might be subtle, but it's the awareness. When something pops up, when a course pops up, a book, a person, or whatever, those are the things that are given to us as action steps to get towards what we want. We just have to be open to that those little things can then turn into the big thing ultimately.
Right. There is when you believe, the path will open up within, like you will get ideas, you will know what to say, you will know intrinsically what kind of actions to take. And if you're in a lack mindset, it's like, oh, I'm frozen, I can't do anything. I've been there so many times. I am actually getting myself out of that kind of circle every single day, because it still is, wants to be my default, you know, because that's what I was growing up with until I was like 40. So it takes time, but becoming a dancer also takes time. So you just keep on going and have the faith that it actually really truly makes a difference. Yeah. Well, on that note, Thanks, guys, for listening to us. Not time. Oh, we need to talk about that next week because I have to be honest, I did not do the time assessment last week.
Okay, we'll talk about it next week.
Yes, we have to. Promised. I want to keep my promises. Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks, Christy, for sharing. Just on a side note, Christy's birthday is coming up on the 17th of March, just so you know, one more time, don't forget her. And I'm grateful for you and for, having this time together and our conversations.
I feel the same. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for
you,
having me every week.
Yeah, it's fun. It's great.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep going until, I don't know, whenever you have your, I'm not even going to go there. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening. Lots of love. Mwah. Till next week. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If this message resonates with you, please pass it on to someone who needs to hear this right now. And if you like what you've heard, your feedback will go a very long way. If you just take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review, that would mean the world to me. Till next time, point at yourself to rise to all that you are capable of.